بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم. جناب موگرنی، بر من یک افتخار بزرگ است که امروز شما را در افغانستان خوش آمدید میگیم. در دوران 5 سال گذشته شما یک نقش کلیدی برای تقویه همه‌جانبه، تحکیم دولت، تقویه پروسه صلح که توسط افغان‌ها رهبری شه و مالکیتش از افغان‌ها باشه و کمک‌های بزرگ اقتصادی، مخصوصاً کنفرانس بروسل که شما میزبانیش داشتین ایفا کردین. ما به افغانستان شما را خوش آمدید میگم. مردم افغانستان، خواهرها و برادرای ما منتظر شنیدن پیغامتان هستند. مهربانی کنید.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I'm very glad to be in Kabul for the first time during my mandate, even if we meet very often and regularly in discussions that are always extremely friendly and productive. And I want to thank you for your friendship and your leadership. I belong to a generation that has always looked at Afghanistan as a beautiful and proud country, torn by too many years of war all over its recent history. I had personally the privilege to visit already Kabul a few years ago when I was still a member of the Italian Parliament, and I was fascinated. I was fascinated by the beauty of this country and by the strength and the intelligence of its people, the talent of its people. At the time, just a few years ago, talking about peace seemed completely out of the vocabulary, and we discussed this with Mr. President today. But today, Afghanistan finds itself at a critical moment of its history, and you're faced with a unique window of opportunity to start discussing the perspectives for peace in the country. And let me say that this is the direct result of your courageous offer last year to start peace talks. And I think that if today we are discussing about the possibility of entering a phase of peace negotiations for bringing sustainable peace to this country and its people, this is thanks to your visionary leadership last year and the years before to open the way for the perspectives of peace talks that would not be conditioned, but obviously with a clear conditional setup for the outcome of this process. And I'll say a few words about this. I think that this moment of opportunity, especially being the result of your courageous leadership, requires now also your leadership to help the country taking the most out of this window of opportunity for peace. Time has come for the Afghans, all the Afghans, none excluded, to take the future of their country in their hands, and for a peace process that can be really sustainable, we see the need to meet some conditions. As I said, as you said, no conditions for starting the talks, but for sure conditions to make the result of any negotiation sustainable over time. And these are all points on which the European Union will always be at the side of the Afghan people, never, never leaving any of them alone. First of all, a ceasefire agreed by the Taliban and peace talks with the Afghan government. Second, an inclusive negotiation team to be established with representatives of all Afghan society, including women, and I want to stress this point, because women have proven to be able to play an essential role in peace negotiations worldwide. It is internationally proven that any peace agreement that has been negotiated also by women has 40% more chances to stand the test of time. So it's in the interest of the result of the negotiations and not for good feelings that we need women at the table. And also here in Afghanistan, women are a very relevant part of the society, and their inclusion in any peace process is the guarantee that peace is owned and led by Afghans. 3, the upholding and the strengthening of the political, economic, and social achievements of the last 18 years. in particular regarding, again, the rights of women, girls, children, and minorities. I would say the upholding and strengthening of the constitutional framework and the democratic setup of the country. For peace to be durable and sustainable, Afghans and the Afghan people are called to be not the spectators, but the authors, to write their own present and their own future. Yet, even if the Afghans are and have to stay the owners of the process, we know that there are other players that are crucial. I'm regularly in touch, first of all, with the United Nations, regularly discuss Afghanistan with also our partners and interlocutors in the international community, starting from the United States, whose efforts we support, but also with the Russian Federation, with China, with Iran, with the Central Asian countries, to name only a few. And my special representative just 3 days ago had a meeting with his American, Russian, and Chinese counterparts in Washington. And yesterday I had in Islamabad extensive talks with the Pakistan leadership there that clearly delivered to me a message that you can see reflected in a joint communique we released yesterday evening, that fully supports negotiations to start immediately between the Taliban and the Afghan government, and express one basic interest that I believe is the national interest of Pakistan, that is starting to build peace in this region. The dividend of peace is enormous for everybody, and nobody can afford, even economically, I believe, the costs of continuing not to have peace in this region. And indeed, peace is important for Afghanistan, for the neighboring countries, for the region, and also for Europe. Our peace, security, growth are deeply interconnected, even if, I want to stress this, the European Union here has no particular agenda, if not the agenda of the Afghan people. Our only agenda is peace, security, development of Afghanistan and of the Afghan people, all of them. At the Geneva Ministerial Conference last November, together with the President, I put on the table, on behalf of the European Union, a concrete 5-point offer in support of peace. That, by the way, I discussed also in Islamabad yesterday evening, being welcomed by the Pakistani authorities. First, helping the Afghan government to make the peace process more inclusive. Second, supporting reforms, including in the security sector. Third, providing incentives for the reintegration of ex-combatants and their families. Fourth, having the European Union, if required, as a guarantor of the peace process, as we are in many other processes, especially in Asia, but not only. And last but not least, most importantly maybe, supporting cross-border trade and infrastructures, as well as regional connectivity. And here we can have a huge agenda of investments that could be beneficial both for Afghanistan and for all its neighboring countries. So during my meetings today with President Ghani, but also with Chief Executive Abdullah, I have confirmed this offer. I have confirmed that the attention, the priority that the European Union has given to the Afghan people is not something that we have sustained over the past years consistently, generously, but it is also something we are ready to continue, to accompany the institutions of this country, the people of this country, in this difficult but hopefully promising beginning of a new phase, having no other agenda, as I said, of peace. I also discussed with the President the need to uphold the electoral agenda. I would summarize it with one simple and very easy to understand sentence. Enter negotiations as if there were no elections, united as a country, and do elections as if there were no negotiations. We will be at your side in this difficult but important journey. And we will do, as always, all we can to accompany the Afghan people and their democratically elected institutions in this particular moment of their history. I thank you very much.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Zikte derim menin de Afganistan de ulus pastazito, خاصة de Afganistan de mirmanu, de Afganistan de zwananu, او de Afganistan de mashumanu, او د هر افغان چه اکثریت مطلق ده چه در افغانستان اساسی قانون باندې باورمندی او ایموگ اساسی قانون ملی وثیقه بولی زلتس نمنه کو. اتحادیې اروپا هیڅ بل اجندا نلري غیر لدینه چې نړۍ کې ثبات وګوري، د جګړې ختم وګوري او پرمختګ وګوري. موږ د زړه له کومې نه تاسو له دریځ نه هرکلی کوو او لکه چې تاسو ویلې سخت لحظات د امتحان لحظات دي. که سخت لحظاتو کې څوک وارخطا کی نتایج منفی دي، اما هر سخت لحظه کې یو فرصت ده او نن لکه چې تاسو ویلې موږ د افغانستان راتلونکي ته یو عظیم فرصت وینو. فرصت دا دی چې هغه بحرانونه چې 40 کال دوام کړی وو باید پای ټکي ته ورسیږي او له دې نظر نه لومړی له تاسو نه د افغانستان د اساسي قانون مطابق د انتخاباتو له ملاتړ نه موږ سخت هرکلی کوو. یو حکومت چې منتخب نه وي نسي کولی چې یو عظیمه ستونزه او عظیم فرصت نه په اساسي توګه ګټه واخلي او سوله او د جنگ پای ته رسول هغه فرصت ده چې مخصوصا ولس باید پکې شامل او راتلونکي لویه جرګه مشورتي لویه جرګه هغه فرصت د افغانستان ټول ولس ته پیدا کوي چې په آزاده توګه او په اساسي توګه خپل راتلونکی خپل افغانانو ټاکي. از اجندای 5 فقره‌ای شما در همکاری و تقویه دولتداری در افغانستان ما صمیم قلب ابراز تشکر میکنیم. اتحادیه اروپا از نهادهایی بوده که همراه ما قرارداد دارن به نام قرارداد دولت سازی و کل از این پول نقد در بدل تحکیم دولت است و توسعه این مکانیزم و این شیوه کار یک نقطه اساسی است. سیاست خارجی افغانستان مبنایش ایجاد دیدگاه مشترک با همکارا و تغییر دیدگاه اونایی که بی‌طرف هستند به مثبت و اونایی که منفی هستند به بی‌طرف یا مثبت است. قرن ما قرن از این نیست که به زبان تهدید و یا زبان تحکیم ما صحبت کنیم. افغانستان در قلب آسیاست و تا قلب آسیا ثبات نداشته باشه پروسه بزرگ تحول که امروز در آسیا روی دست است انجام شده نمیتونه. بنابراین باید انگیزه از منفی به مثبت تغییر کنه و تعهد اتحادیه اروپا که پروژه بزرگ ارتباط منطقوی را کمک خواد کردن و تمویل خواد کردن یک قدم بزرگ در تغییر انگیزه است. ملت افغانستان یک ملت آزاد بوده. آزادی ما همیشه از همه چیز دیگه کده بر ما ارزشمند بوده. ثبات را که برای 40 سال گذشته میخواستیم باید نتیجه قانونمندی و حاکمیت قانون باشه، چون تنها از روی حاکمیت قانون و سهم وسیع تمام مردم افغانستان خاصتا زنای افغانستان است که ثبات به وجود میاد. ثباتی که از رای گلوله، از رای زور و از رای تهدید باشه ثبات نیست، فصل آغاز یک نارامی دیگه است. بنابراین در این مرحله اساس چیز را که شما سر دولت مدارای افغانستان و خاصتا سر رئیس جمهور منتخب افغانستان حساب کرده میتونین است که ما با تدبیر، با تعقل منافع بنیادی خود را که در اشتراک مساعی، در تغییر مناسبات مثبت منطقوی و در تحکیم مناسبات جهانی است خواهید دید. افغانستان از خشونت رنج میبره که محصول تنها شرایط داخلی نیست، محصول شرایط بین‌المللی، محصول شرایط منطقوی و محصول تضادهای جهان اسلام است. ضرور است که ما هر بود این مسئله را به دقت مد نظر بگیریم و انشالله تعالی راه حل واضح برش پیشنهاد کنیم که پیشنهاد کردیم. اما مهمترین موضوع وحدت ملی ما و ایجاد اجماع سیاسی و طریق راه حل سیاسی برای جنگ است. قسمی که شما گفتین امروز صلح به گفتمان ملی افغان ها تبدیل شده. این گفتمان دوام میکنه و در چارچوب بحثی که در لوی جرگه صورت خواهد گرفت، اقدامات بعدی ما صورت خواهد گرفت. در عین حال از همکاری شما تشکر میکنیم و خواهش ما است که در کنفرانس سوم پروسه کابل مثل که قبلا صحبت کردیم با هم همکاری همه‌جانبه نماییم تا اهداف مشترک ما عملی شود و او هدف است که یک دنیای غیر مطمئن و مبهم به یک دنیای با ثبات و با اعتماد بر آینده به وجود بیاید. چیزی را که من موفقیت یا عدم موفقیت همه ما را اندازه میکنم تبسم یک طفل و خاصتا تبسم یک دختر است. دیروز من افتخار افتتاح مکاتب به زنگ معارف داشتم و امروز دختری که 8 ساله، 10 ساله یا 15 ساله است باید سر یک آینده اعتماد داشته باشه که در او مثل که امروز وزیرای کابینه، معینا، سفیرا، پروفیسرها وجود دارن. اینا بتانند با اعتماد کامل در این آینده سرنوشت خود رقم بزنن. افغانا اطمینان دارم که آماده رقم زدن سرنوشت خود هستند و انشالله با اتحاد و اتفاق و وحدت کامل آینده را تامین خواهد کردیم. بازم تشکر، بسیار خوش آمدید.